There's been such a lot of talk about selection, so I'll say this up front. We don't have to front up at press conferences to explain the teams that we have picked. It is very easy for us to pick teams, and that's largely because we don't have to actually pick them. I've often said that the easiest decisions to take are the ones we don't have to take. But then, of course, you could turn around and argue with great validity that that's part of the job of being a captain. You take the decisions. That's why you're the leader of the national side. That's what you paid the big bucks for. So it goes both ways. So let me tell you what I did in the first test match so that we all start to take the responsibility for our actions. I had 6 batsmen. I had both Rahane and Rohit Sharma. I had a keeper in Saha, and I had 4 bowlers. My team did not have Hardik Pandya, and what a test match he had in Cape Town. But he's still affecting the balance, and I'll talk about that later. My team didn't have Bumrah. He made a sort of iffy start in the first test. I thought he was fantastic at Centurion. So there you see, sometimes you get it right, sometimes you get it wrong. My problem at the moment with this Indian side, though, is not who's playing a specific test, but with the chopping and changing that I believe is starting to affect 3 key players in the side. The first of those is KL Rahul. He was coming into the side beautifully. He'd got 100 overseas, then a little bit of here and there. He'd got 7 half centuries in a row. He wasn't converting them to hundreds, but that's a relatively smaller problem. He was giving you a start every single time. Then Shikhar Dhawan came in and KL Rahul had to go out. Then here's a quality player. He's lost his place in the one-day side. Suddenly he's insecure. But overseas, Shikhar Dhawan has always started tours and then been dropped midway through. So I thought this was a great opportunity to tell KL Rahul you're in. Didn't play the first test, was picked for the second. Now Shikhar Dhawan is insecure. KL Rahul is saying, right, what if I don't score runs here because I've been out of the one-day side as well. Now he's failed in Cape Town. What are you going to do at Johannesburg? Then there's Ajinkya Rahane. Quality player. Absolutely wonderful player. He's won you test matches overseas with his batting, which is not what you can say about a lot of players. Really struggle at home, but sometimes you're like, it's like putting a fish back in water. Suddenly you feel very happy where you are. When Rahane goes overseas, he averages 53, 54. He was probably the only batsman who was saying, bring it on South Africa, bring it on England. I'll try and score runs over there. I don't have these spinners always testing me. But we didn't pick him. And what worried me was Virat Kohli saying, look, no one thought Rahane should play the first test. And I said, oops, I only hope he's not only speaking to a very small group of people who are telling him what he wants to hear. Because everybody else that I know had Ajinkya Rahane in their side. And I sometimes wonder whether captains need to look at the wider world or have somebody around them who'll say, no, this is what I think, and have a contrary point of view. Unless, of course, Virat could turn around and very validly say that maybe we are meeting the same people all the time. But there's a huge difference in the perception of Ajinkya Rahane. Now, he's struggling in the one-day side. If he does get picked for Johannesburg, he's thinking, what if I don't score runs here? Another quality player who's become insecure. And then there's Bhuvneshwar Kumar. I fear that we spend a lot of time thinking of who Bhuvneshwar Kumar isn't, rather than who Bhuvneshwar Kumar is. Much as we spend a lot of time thinking who Rohit Sharma is, not who Rohit Sharma isn't. So Bhuvneshwar Kumar can look at that and say, but why me? Look at his track record as a cricketer. He started off as a medium pace in-swing bowler, then learned the outswinger, then learned the seam, then took some time off to up his pace, then got the swing back, and now he's a proper 135 to 140 range bowler. He's got a bouncer, he's got a seamer, he swings the ball. What it tells me about Bhuvneshwar Kumar is here is a player who's constantly learning. That is a rare quality. That is something you want. That is something that marked out Virat Kohli as a young player. He was always improving. He was always getting better. That is what we are seeing with Bhuvneshwar Kumar. And the only time India were in with a chance in Cape Town was when Bhuvneshwar Kumar gave you the start. Now all of a sudden he's thinking again, right, so what kind of cricketer am I? And we've converted another good cricketer into an insecure cricketer. So all I will say with selections is that the captains and the coaches are allowed their hunch, they're allowed their gut, they're allowed to look at the numbers, but we should not end up in a situation where your lead players are getting insecure. Now all of a sudden, what do you do in Johannesburg? Do you play Shikhar Dhawan? Do you play Rahul? Do you play Pujara? Do you not play Pujara? Do you play Rahane? Has Rohit's 40 done enough to pick him in the side? Now Ishant has taken 5, Bumrah's done well, Shami just produces the one spell that he takes wickets. Where does Bhuvneshwar Kumar come back in? Do you play Parthiv Patel? You get Dinesh Karthik in? All of a sudden, because of the chopping and changing, we've got so many questions in front of us before the Johannesburg test, and that is the worry with selection. Then there's the question of Hardik Pandya. had a very good test match. But is Hardik Pandya a top 6 batsman? Is Hardik Pandya a top 4 bowler? Because if he's neither, then he's not being made accountable in that sense for any one category in the game. When you're batting number 7 or even below sometimes, but when you're batting number 7, you make a 30, 35, that's a very good contribution. You're batting at 6, you're only making 30, then you're not that good. You're coming in and bowling 10 or 12 overs, picking up 1 for 20, that's a very good contribution for a 5th bowler. If you're 1 or 4, no, it's not good enough. But if you constantly keep playing 10 players plus Hardik Pandya, then you have to have somebody else who bats at 6. And hence the trouble with Saha, hence the trouble with Ashwin. So my view is that we should bite the bullet, tell Hardik Pandya, you are a number 6 player, and then we'll see what else we take, because that is affecting the balance. However good a player he is, I mean, he's effected a run out, he's given you a breakthrough, he scored a 90. But he still needs to be defined as one kind of player, otherwise he's affecting team balance.